Metric conversions. In the metric conversions, there are some base units: gram, which is going to measure your masses; liters, which measure volumes; and meters, which measure length. These are abbreviated as G, capital L, small m. In the metric system, there are prefixes attached to each of those base units. Kilo, hecto, and deca are going to be prefixes that are used for measuring large volumes, large masses, etc. Those prefixes get attached to each of those base units, so they read like kilogram, hectoliter. Those abbreviations are as follows. When you're measuring something that's extremely small, like bacteria and red blood cells, you need a different type of metric prefixes. These are called deci, centi, and milli. Those are the ones you'll be using in chemistry. However, if you were measuring bacteria, you'd be using the metric prefix nano, which is extremely small. Again, those are the abbreviations for deci, centi, and milli. These get attached also to the base units: centigram, millimeter. Here are those abbreviations. Now let's convert. That's the whole important factor in the metric conversions. The way that the metric moving dot works is you need to memorize this chart as follows. King Henry's daughter married dumb Cookie Monster. And what you're going to do is it's going to ask you to convert 12.5 centiliters to liters. Put the beginning value in the column where it belongs, and then it tells you which direction you have to move the dot. That's why it's called the metric moving dot. I need to move it over 2 columns to get to my desired units of liters. Moving over in one direction, it'll change 12.5 centiliters to 1.25 deciliters. Move one more spot, it becomes 0.125 liters or 0.125 liters. Both of these values will be the same for chemistry. Therefore, 12.5 centiliters equals this many liters. Let's convert another one. 14 kilograms to grams. This chart will only work if you memorize these in this order. If you measure it in the opposite direction, it will not work. Again, put your value in the column where it belongs. It tells you what direction you have to move your dot. How many places determines how many columns you have to go. Here I have to move it 3 columns to get to my grams. As I move it over one space, it becomes 140 hectograms. And as you can tell, there's a 10 times difference between each of these columns. So 14 kilograms equals 14,000 grams. How I do it is I take this pencil and I move it over every column. As I do that, I'm going to draw troughs, and I'm going to fill in the troughs at the end with zeros. So here I have kilo. I'm going to move it over one column. Hecto, you can follow along up here. Move it over again, I'm in the deca column. Move it over one more time, I'm at my desired unit. I fill in the troughs with zeros, and after I do that, you can see that I have 14,000, it should be kilograms. Go to the next one. We're going to take 0.0025 decameters to centimeters. Again, I'm going to do my method, which is every time I move my dot over, I'm going to be counting out the correct columns. So here at deca, I move it over 1, I will be in meters, the base unit. I move it over one more time, I'm in deci. Move it over one more time, here's where my new dot will be between the 2 and the 5. It would be in centimeters. So my final answer is 2.5 centimeters. That is what those two are equivalent to. Let's take a look at converting 7,212.8 liters to milliliters. Liters is a base unit. I need to move in this direction, and I need to move it over 3 columns. So here I go. Again, starting at liters. I move it over 1, my decimal, I'm in deci. Move it over another one, I'm in centi. Move it over again, I'm in milli. Fill in the troughs with 0. This is where my new decimal point will be. So my final answer is 7,212,800 milliliters. Notice every number has a unit. This number can also be expressed in scientific notation. Both of these are correct. This is just some of these ones that you can work out on your own. Check your answers, and using that same process. I've included the metric moving dot table on the bottom, but again, you can do the same system that I do, is move your dot over, and as you move it over, call out the columns that you're in, and this would be a good stopping place on the slide to take a look at to see if you get the same answers as I did.